I got a little nervous for a second.
Where's the table? 1 and 2?
We're on 1 and 2.
Gotta keep Delaware. That Sammy's not in the semis just because he's always in the semis.
Oh, he was in the semis.
Oh, okay, all right.
The last 2 seasons, yeah, but I didn't play. This is the first season I started coming back. When are you coming back?
I have 50 tournaments to go to every month.
Yeah, come back.
I feel bad with scheduling.
Do the makeup.
Practice or no?
Oh, just one practice.
Okay.
That's good.
That's how I play it.
Make up your mind, Phil.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can't hear myself. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
You can hear your foot, right?
No. Here, listen. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Okay.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can you hear me? Testing 1 2 3. Testing, testing, testing. Can you hear me? 1 2 3.
Okay.
Testing.
Here. Okay.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing. 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 I can hear it now. I have a workaround.
What?
Let me get my iPad, my iPods on, and I'll have Steve talk to me with his phone on.
Okay, sure.
You're missing your own finals. No, I'm kidding. You just stay here. We're running a little late too, so stay here.
Hey Steve, I can't hear you on the stream, but if I have you in my ear on the phone and you keep your phone by you, we can probably jerry-rig it and sort of figure it out. Okay, if he's having problems getting you through the stream. Oh. Yeah, can you hear me now? Okay. I have my headphones in, and I have the headphones for the stream on. I'm trying to be able to talk to you so we can hear each other while we're on the stream as opposed to talking over each other because I can't hear you, or vice versa. So can you hear me clearly now or no? Yours is coming through, I just can't hear it, or else I have the backfeed of you and me talking at the same time, but you'll be talking in the past, I'll be talking during the present.
Alright, can you guys hear me? Henry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we might need a couple more depending on the stream, but yeah. Relax. Get a Pinot Noir. You have any more lozenges? Yeah, do you have them? Yeah. I just have coffee breath and I'm going to be talking a lot. Coffee breath and Greek salad.
Mike, when
Think
you're
of it.
on this thing, can you hear me now? Mike, can you hear me?
Well,
Steve knows. He says he'll drop it if he can't fix it. We probably got a few minutes. Carlos and Chris aren't in a super rush. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Michael Yednak testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Hello. 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. You good? So, will I be able to wear the headphones? Or I guess I don't need to hear myself. It's just me. Yeah, I got you. No, it's okay. Then we'll just have them start on time. So they have 4 minutes. No, let it.
All league players, come on up front, please. All league players up front. All house league players up front, please.
Julian and Chris.
Oh, I can bring it back to you.
We run so slowly when we run together.
6?
I don't think so.
Guys, can I sit here or is
They want to go live. All right. Alrighty guys, Michael Yednak here. I'm with Henry and Pascal. We're doing a little stream here for Amsterdam Billiards. Got Chris Neumeyer versus Carlos Luna. Carlos is going to 100. Chris is going to 150. This should be a really good match, guys. Carlos did play a match earlier today, so hopefully he's not drained out. Or he might just be in dead stroke.
Nothing if I pay the way I pay earlier.
I believe this is being streamed on Amsterdam Billiards. It's on Sean Morgan's page. Sean Alaska Morgan on Facebook. You guys are probably already there, but I'm just saying it out loud so people know. I'm going to go ahead and share myself. Guys, if you have a chance, go ahead and share it. What happened? What happened?
Oh, those hats for ball change. Oh my God. Some drama already.
Drama. Okay, but I don't see Alaska. Is this not up on your page?
It's on Alaska. That's his personal page.
Oh, you have a personal page?
He has a pro page and a personal.
Sorry, guys. Alaska has a personal and a pro page. So Alaska's going to clean the set. So we'll start shortly.
There you go.
All right, guys. So we'll have a brief pause, and we'll be back with you shortly. Right, so guys, the reason they want the balls cleaned is not really a picky thing. What they're trying to do is get the balls to open nicely. And if you have a new set of balls or clean balls, they usually don't stick together as much on the break shots. So we'll have higher runs. There'll be less skids, less throw on the balls. So it's a nuance that really is important to pay attention to. Make sure that's not a problem. Special thanks to Henry Chan and Pascal Dufresne. We will be doing a live stream of the Efren Reyes, Thorsten Homan appearance. That will be this Wednesday, the 18th. If anyone is interested, please come out and visit the room. $20 entry fee to come see the show live, or I think there's a $5 fee to see the stream. So please feel free to come out and check that out as well. Alright guys, it appears Carlos lost the lag, so he just made sure the back line was tight. And he's going to go ahead and break. He'll try to clip one of the two corner balls, looks like the left corner ball. Go 3 rails and try to leave the cue frozen at the first diamond in the upper right corner as we're facing the screen. This is typically a low outside. On a newer clock, you have to hit this thinner, and you might move the cue ball closer to the center of the table. This was a pretty bad shot by Carlos. He hit it pretty thick. And Chris steps to the table with a pretty negotiable shot here on, I believe, it's the 3 ball. If he makes the 3, he should have position on the 5 or the 9. So all he's got to do is pocket this ball. Should be off to the races. This is exactly what Carlos didn't want. Alright, so he's got a good shot in the 5. He could follow with left, or he could try to play position on the 9 and use the 9 to open it up. I think he's going to follow, get above the 9, or draw and get above the 9 and have a couple options. Okay, now he can use the 9 ball and go right into the 1 and open everything up. After he hits the 1, he'll probably track towards the 7. And should have a shot in the 6 or some other ball that he hits. If he doesn't like the 9, he could always use the 6 and get better position. But I think he likes to cut on the 9. I know it looks a little severe, but it's a pretty makeable shot here. It's about a quarter ball hit, pure follow. Okay, actually went through the rack, so he needs a little roll here on the 13, and he got it. Now, just looking at a glance, he's got the 6 balls of break shot. He's got the 10 and 7 as key balls to the 6. He's got the 14 and 11 on the other side as potential key ball break shots. Chris is looking really good here. This should be a pretty easy rack to negotiate. I like to take all the balls underneath the break shot as soon as possible. So if he does decide to use the 6, he could get rid of the 1, tap the 4 over, then use the 2 and 4. Get rid of those 2 balls, and then take all the balls from above. Now, if he takes away the 6, that means he's going to use either the 14 or 11 as a break shot. I personally like the 6 because I have so many key balls on the right side of the table. You got the 10 ball, you got the 7 ball, you got the 15 ball. But Chris seems to like the, looks like the 14 or the 11. So he's going to go ahead and use one of those. He's going to play the 15, use the tangent to get on either the 1 or the 4, or he'll play the 7 or 10 ball. I suspect he's just going to play the 15. He could also play the 2 ball next if he doesn't go all the way over. Okay, he's a little thick on the 12. He could use the 12 or the 2. The 2 ball's closer, so I suspect he'll shoot the 2. Now he could develop the 11 if he wanted here. Okay, played a little more cautious. I like it. Now he can get rid of the 1 and the 4. He's still attacking all the balls underneath the break shot. That is standard. Pretty long bridge there. Now if he does decide to use the 14 ball as the break shot, I suspect he's going to use the 11 ball as the key ball. So in that case, we're just trying to get rid of all these balls on the right side of the table pretty soon. So probably 4. I might attack the 10 here just to get rid of a pocket blocker for the 7. We can also go 7 and then 10, then 12, then 8, then 11. I kind of like 7, 10, 12, 8, 11, and use the 14 ball as the break shot. Okay, he's going to go ahead and play the 10 first. So he's doing something a little different. Probably 10, 12, or 10, 7, 12, 8, 11. He's going to have a lot of movement from the 12 to the next shot. He might even reconsider use the 8 first and then the 12, because the 12 brings him back to the left side of the table. But he must be able to kill this ball and get to the middle and not overshoot the 8 ball. He'll go 8, 11, then 14. He'll try to leave the cue parallel to the 14 ball on the rail when he's done. As you can see, he got a little thin on this 8 ball, so he's got to kill it and make sure he doesn't come too far off the rail, but he wants a nice angle on the 11. Basically like a 15-degree angle on the 11. And it's just perfect. Now I'll probably pull the cue ball back the distance that it is and a little further to the left side of the table, right where he just placed his tip. He'd like to be parallel to the 14 in the rail. This is low right. And since he's hitting it soft, I'll actually aim a little thicker on this ball and throw it in. Okay, now that slid a little bit. Now that might be a product of the cleaner balls. So he didn't get quite as much draw on that. Now he's still in good position, but he would like to have been, 1 ball over to the left. That'd be a wider angle and he'd have a higher probability of opening up the stack more. So Chris is on a 14 ball run at the moment. We have a great Thorsten Holman in the house who will be playing Efren Reyes, watching the match a little bit. And Mark Kessel and Ben Yum are also watching live. And see how thick he was on that ball and he didn't get quite as much of a spread? That's because he didn't have quite as much angle as he would have liked. Now, fortunately, he's got a shot to 5 or possibly the 3. And he'll be able to go back into these balls off the 6 ball, probably. Looks to me like a 5, 9, 6 proposition. This will be the second time on his secondary break shot you'll see him using a ball underneath the stack. Okay, so he'll use the 9 to get on the 6 ball. And
then he'll use the 6, and he'll try to go right into the 12 thickly on the 6. That'll give him position on the 15 or the 13. Okay, he came down or came up a little high. I think he wanted to angle on the 6, and I think he ended up pretty straight. So now he's got to reevaluate his plan. This happens, so we've all done this before. Now what he could do is roll a little bit forward and accept the 15 and use the 15 to open it up. That's assuming that his bridge hand isn't over the break. If his bridge hand would be over the break, then I'll have to find another solution. Yeah, he's a little disappointed in himself because that would have really made the rack easy, because he would have been able to go into that and had the 15 as insurance after he went into the stack. So now he's going to have to reevaluate. Probably use the 15, and he can go back to the other side of the rack or try to attack the 12 now. This really is depending on the percentages and how he feels he can accurately hit the stack or not. Could always just come back for the 10 ball if he doesn't like it. Okay, he hit the 10. And the 10 blocked position on the 2, but he has the 3 ball, so he's still okay. I think he's checking to see if the 4 goes. The 4 would be a nice secondary break shot. The 2 might actually clear. The problem with the 3 or the 13 is that they don't really lead nicely to other balls. So if he does have to choose one of those, he's going to have to be very careful about his position. Now, if he can shoot the 2, he can play position on the 8, and then everything's okay. If he has to shoot the 13 or 3, he's going towards the 8 ball, and he could get in a bad position. So that's what he wants to fend against. I would check and see if the 7 is dead off the 11. It might be a potentially helpful ball. Now, like I said, the 8 was a problem, and now he's straight on the 8, which doesn't lead to much. So he's going to have to come down for the 13 ball. And then he's going to have a tough shot in the 13. Not out of the woods yet. Now, he's taken off a lot of balls here without attacking the stack, which is a problem. So he's got the 11, 7, 12, 1, and 4. And he hasn't addressed them, and he's taking away balls that could help him. So he's really got to plan his position, probably on the 10 ball, to go into those balls right away. So he's going to play position probably for the 10 next if he can. If he can follow and hit the 4, that would be helpful. I don't think he has that angle, though. I think he's got to play position on the 10 or the 2. Prioritize pocketing here. If he loses position, he'll figure something out. Okay, he lost position, so he's got to figure something out. Now this is where it would be wise, with the caliber of player he's playing, to thin the 10 and put the cue ball behind the stack. He can thin the 10 right now, put the cue ball behind 11, 7, and 12, and use those balls as blockers. Unless he's got a high percentage combo, and with how close he is to the 10, I don't see that as a high probability. Now I would double check the 11 and the 7, make sure neither of those are wired to the corner pocket, lower left corner. If one of those goes to the lower left corner, that would be a consideration. He could use the 10 to combo into the 11, and it would carry him off and go in the corner. Based on what I see, if that were possible, the 7 ball would be the one that would be closest to that line, but I don't think either of those go. So he would also check the 12, see if the 12 throws. If he can hit the top side of the 11 and the 12 were lined up to the point, if he hit the 7 into the 11 on the top side, it would pull down and go in the lower right corner. I don't think anything's dead, and I think he's going to have to play the safety that I said, though. Now what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't roll him back up on the stack. I would leave him away from the stack so he can't just roll onto the stack or clip the stack and roll off easily. Now what Carlos is probably going to do is thin the 11 and put the cue ball in the upper left corner. The problem with that is if he makes the ball dead, he'll be sitting in a chair again. So when you do glance at the stack, you want to be cautious as to where you're placing balls. Make sure you don't make anything dead for your opponent. I think thinning the 11 and putting the cue in the upper left corner is the play here, though. Yeah, he wants to freeze in the lower left corner on the short rail if possible. Okay, hit that a little firm. There's two shots that Carlos's speed has been off. But this is baiting Chris a little bit. Chris has to come with a tough shot in this too. Now if I'm Chris, I'm just going to focus on my mechanics here and put the 2 down and take my medicine and whatever I get after. Now if he doesn't like it, he could thin the 10 and put the cue ball back in the lower left corner. But I think he's going to shoot. Okay, he shot and didn't come with the shot. And now Carlos has a good opportunity to get started here. And hopefully he can get a speed control, shoot a couple balls in and start to feel a little more comfortable. Chris didn't leave him an ideal break shot. Now, that's going to be something that Carlos is going to have to develop. And I'm not sure if that's in Carlos's skill set, but we'll see shortly here. Ideally, you would use the 4 or the 1. I was going to say you could bump the 1 down with the 4 if he's on the correct side of it. I don't think he is. Yeah. You know what he could do? He could play the 12 into the 7 and possibly develop the 12 into a break shot. If he hits the rail first and then the 7, the 12 will come up table, maybe get lucky and get a break shot out of that. At this point, I'm looking to push the 11 underneath the stack or the 1 to the right side of the stack. If he can pocket the 7 and go into the 11, he could probably develop the 1 or the 11 if he hits the 11 on the left side. So I would use that right now. So he's not seeing that possible helpful ball. With the position he's in now, I might go 1 in the side, play the 11-7 combination, and then the 2-11 combination, and try to leave the 2 in front of the pocket and use that as my break shot. So if he can play the 2 and bump the 11 underneath the stack, then he can use the 11 as a break shot. Play the 2-7 combination and bump the 11 over. Okay, he's going with my initial plan, which is just combo everything and leave something by the pocket and use that as your break shot. He doesn't want this ball to go in, which sounds crazy, but it could happen. Slow down, slow down. Okay, that was a great shot. Carlos hit a really good shot there. Now he's going to be jacked up over the stack, but he is right-handed, so he might be able to reach this ball. So this might work out well for him. So good play on Carlos with his safety. He hit it a little rough, but he baited Chris to take a low percentage shot, which he kind of had to take. And Chris jarred it, and Carlos got to the table. So we get to see Carlos perform a little bit. I think he can go at this 12 ball here. Yeah, Carlos is of a smaller demeanor, but he has a nice long stroke, so he'll play this. He'll play this well, I think. Good shot, and I think he got rewarded with the 11 in the corner. He wishes he had the 11 in the side. We get a nice view of Carlos's tip. Yeah, I think he's got the 11 in the side. He may have the 11 in the corner, but he's got some shot in the 11, which is all he needs. Preferably this side. Okay, good shot. Now, a lot of weaker players might have tried to play position on the 8 there, and then they would have jarred the 11 and ruined their run. So it was a very smart play by Carlos to just take it easy, get settled in. You got lots of options right now, and figure out how you're going to attack this stack. I really like the 14. So what I would do here is I'd play the 12 ball, try to get position on the 14 or the 10, and then use the 14 to go in them. The 14 ball is your ideal break shot because you go right in that little pocket where you hit the 4 and the 1 and open everything up. The 12 ball is not as good of a break shot. Okay, he's eliminating that ball. If he's going to shoot that, he might as well shoot the 10 upstream, get rid of the 10, play position on the 5, and try to get an angle on the 12. Now the 12 is not going to open up the balls as well as the 14 ball would have, so he might have to go into the stack a couple times here. So he's attacking the 5 now. Maybe the 1 goes. If the 1 goes, he's going to break out the 12 ball, but he's still not going to open everything out with this shot. So I do think he should take it if he's got it. Just stay down, do a draw stroke. You're going to at least get that 13 ball out, and you'll have something after. Okay, 13 came out, and he's got the 6 or the 3. So you got 3 balls out on that break shot. Now, if he can play the 7, he should play the 7 in the side. If he can't, the 4 might preclude him. If he can't, then he'll wait. Now you see how that 10's a little annoying? He could have got rid of that 10 first before shooting the 5. The 10's in an unfavorable spot on the table, so I would have just eliminated it there. I would come up for the 4 as quickly as possible so I can open up those last 3 balls, the 7, the 9, and the 15. This is pretty juicy. You should be able to go into these and he'll have a shot after. And if he wants, he can wait and then just pluck the balls off, use the 7 to open them up later. Okay, so now Carlos has solved all the problems of the rack. Now it's time to go ahead and decide how you're going to run to the 12 ball. Looks like the 12 ball is his break shot. Again, standard is to go ahead and get rid of all the balls underneath the break shot. So you want to get rid of 13, the 3, and the 9 as quickly as possible. That was a nice punch stroke he just used there. He was a little thick on that ball, and he did a stun stroke to force the ball to come out a little more and take the tangent rather than go forward and go towards the 3. Now, looking at this as it stands, it would be nice to have the 3 and then the 7 to the 12. 3, 7, 12 would have been ideal, but he left the 10 and he left the 8 ball as problem ball. So now he's got to get rid of the 8, the 10, and the 9 as quickly as possible and solve those problems, which means I would use the 8 probably as my last ball with how the balls are set up. Now, right now it looks like he's got a shot in the 10 on the side. Get rid of that 10 ball. It's causing you problems. It's been causing you problems. It's going to continue to cause you problems. Okay, this is a scratch possibility, so he's got to fend against the scratch here. He's got to fend against the scratch, and he didn't. So and that was huge. I feel like Carlos should have saw that and fended against it. Instead, I sound like a... Ugh. That's brittle. So what Chris is going to do is 10, 2, 9, and then use the 8. So generally speaking, guys, balls in the rack are good key balls. The balls underneath the break shot are usually not a good key ball. Like the 9 is typically not a good key ball to the 12. So he's got a little bit of work. My suspicions is he's going to go 10, 2, 9, and then 8, and use the 8 as his key ball. On that shot that Carlos scratched on, he could have played the 10 in the side and then used the 3 ball to get back up table and addressed it that way. Okay, Chris is going about this a little different. Now, this is where I'd love to have Steve in my ear and hear what he says here. He did leave a good angle where he can get nice and thick on this 9, so he's going to make this work. and he probably couldn't get enough angle on the 9 to go up table. So this is probably the right way to go about this. However, you'll see how difficult this is. Okay, he's going to pull back and he's going to try to get the cue ball over the side so he's not precluding any of the cue ball with his vision. He would like the cue ball to be off the rail and in front of the side pocket so he has a nice clean cue ball when he's looking for the break shot. It's just a pure draw, stay down the stroke, don't tighten up your backhand. Okay, he tightened up the backhand and overpowered it. Left Carlos very, what I would call wonky or difficult. And Carlos is going to have to come with a good shot here and probably not have a break shot after. So I would just play position on the 9, try to roll it off the rail and back out, but I would focus all attention on pocketing the 12. 10 is your or 12 ball is your priority here. Okay, good shot. And it looks like he's got the angle where he can draw off the corner ball. So he'll draw off the left side of the stack, hit the corner ball, and maybe get a little relief on the top ball. So this is not the worst case scenario for Carlos. Surprisingly, didn't get punished too bad for that scratch in the side. Do a quick shout out to everyone watching. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Special thanks to Henry Chan for putting up the cameras and running the stream, and special thanks to Pascal for his 14-1 engine, showing us all the stats. Very awesome.
Number 5.
So we got Esther here. She's saying hi on the stream. Hi, Esther.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Esther's one of our amazing waitresses here. She does an awesome job for Amsterdam Billiards.
Oh, thanks. Come through, guys. Get some drinkities.
Yeah, come get some beverages. So he might have to go into the 7 here, but he'd like to go into the 1 and 14. I would use a draw stroke and try to go into 114. He's trying to clip the 3 ball. I don't know if that was the right shot. Maybe my shot wasn't available. Now what you do is you play the 15 ball, you freeze him on the stack, and you try to get the 5 ball to a rail. So this is a hit the 15 ball full and get the cue ball on the stack. Okay, now when you're playing safety in general, guys, you don't typically want to leave the cue ball by the stack because it's too easy to get out of the safety. So you want to leave the cue ball away from the stack and sort of at an off angle. Ideally, I would put the cue ball by one of the first diamonds, either in the lower right first diamond or the lower left first diamond. Now I think what Chris is going to do is thin the 7 or the 11 and put the cue ball on the lower right corner or lower left corner as we're looking at the screen, probably by the first diamond. That's very awkward. Now this, Carlos can thin the 3 and go upstream. I don't like this position either. He could also play out the 14 and put the cue ball in the lower right corner by the first diamond. Okay. Okay, he got it by the first diamond, but he left Chris a view on the 14, which means Chris has a lot of options. Notice how it's hard to go off the stack with where Carlos left the cue. Had Carlos left the cue where it is, and Chris not been able to see the 14, it's a very powerful shot. So generally speaking, when you're playing safeties, you want to put the cue ball in a position where Carlos placed it now. And that gives you an awkward angle attacking the stack to play a safety off of. Now Chris might be able to play the 5-4-2 and get the 2 to a rail. That's what he's going for. Okay, and he actually hit it well, but hit it a little soft. Better to err on the soft side than the hard side there. So that was a strategic, smart move on Chris's part. Carlos needs to recognize his opponent's on a foul. He doesn't need to take anything risky. And I would leave the cue off the stack just a little, because then it's harder for Chris to go ahead and play a safety. Now if I'm Chris, I'm going to look to thin the 7 or the 11 and put the cue ball in this lower left corner by the first diamond. Can I get a bottle of water? Yeah. think he can thin off the 7, put him on the lower short rail, and freeze him around the first diamond, and he's in trouble, you know? He's choosing to freeze him near the second diamond. Again, I feel like this gives your opponent too many options. If I'm Carlos, I'm going to look at the 5, 13, and 15 and see if that 15 goes to a rail, and if I can just freeze him on the stack again. He doesn't have to go aggressive here. He can play the 5, 13, 15 stop shot and freeze him on the stack. If it doesn't work out, he can play off the stack and get in a safety battle some more. Okay, this is a shot maker shot, and he came with it and didn't get rewarded. So I suspect they're going to call Alaska for a hit call here on this 3 ball because he's on top of the 3. Now, if I'm Carlos, I'm probably going to check the 12, see if the 12 is wired off the 11. That was the problem with taking that aggressive shot. He didn't have any reward for it. Now, I would fend against. I don't think this is wise. I might just take an intentional foul here and not touch the 12 because I think he's going to leave Chris's shot. He pretty much left Chris the same shot he took. Chris can take the 2 ball or the 8 ball on the side. I don't like the 8 ball on the side. I like the 2 ball in the corner. And if Chris makes the 2, he'll have a shot in the 3 or the 14. So this is a little different. Now he might opt for the 8 ball, but I would shoot the 2 myself. And I like this shot. I think Chris is going to make this pretty easily. And like I said, I'll shape on the 3 or the 14. Okay, so Chris overcut it. And he might have left Carlos the angle where Carlos can go right into the 3 and open up the stack, or right into the 10 and open up the stack. If that's the case, Carlos should fire on all cylinders and open this up. I would like to hit the 15. The 15 will do the most damage, and the 8 should hold the cue. I wouldn't use a lot of follow on this because I don't want to go through the 8 and scratch. Okay, good shot. And he's been rewarded. Now, before he shoots, he should take a second, because right now, the 1 opens up the rest of the stack. If he takes away the 11 and then the 15, he can use the 1 to go into the stack, and everything opens up. Now, if he doesn't use the 1 to open up the stack, another good option would be the 6 ball. The 6 ball opens up the stack well. I would not go into the stack off the 15, though. I would not do that. He got rewarded for it, but I wouldn't have hit it there. I wasn't guaranteed a shot there. Maybe I'm a little too conservative because he ended up looking great. You know, the rack's wide open, but I would have waited and used either the 6 or the ball that was underneath the rack. I think it was the 1. Okay, he doesn't want to tie up those balls. Ooh, this is looking good now. If he takes the 2 and then the 5, he'll clear out that side rail, and then he has the 6 or the 12 as a break shot. Yeah. I got the great Mika Imnan, another Billiard Hall of Famer, here on the stream for a second. Say hey.
Hello stream. This is Mika. And wishing may the best man win. Is this a league?
Yeah,
finals?
league finals, straight full league finals.
Carlos Luna. I used to play with him in the same team, the Sucios. So I don't know if it's still the same name.
They haven't played in a little while, but hopefully they come back.
Okay. He's still Sucio though.
Yeah, no favoritism.
All right.
All right, guys, a little cameo from Mika there. All right, so he was looking really good, but he lost his cue ball here. Now he's going to have to eliminate a good key ball, probably the 10 ball, to get back in line and he'll have to use the 6 or the 12 as his key ball and break shot. Now, if I use the 10, I make sure I play position. I don't just pocket this ball and I play position for the 13 ball. He could also play for the 3. That's a good shot. I like this actually. This is wise. Now he can go 3, 13, 4, and then use the 6 or the 12 to get back on the other ball. This is a nice little stop out. There's a good play by Carlos. So 3, stop shot, little draw maybe, 13. Oh, he lost his cue again. Okay, he hit the outside of the pocket there and lost control of his ball. I'm not sure if this ball clears or not. Chris Neumeyer in the background is checking to see. I think he might have got a good roll and that it might clear. But this should not have been in that position, but that was a good shot. So he's just going to draw back, and I would use the 6 and 12 if both balls go. Okay. Well, we got another great straight ball player, Jonathan Smith. He's actually in the Team 9 ball playoffs. John, do a little shout out for the guys.
Yeah, go get him, guys. Don't overhit it, Carlos.
All the straight ball players are coming through, checking it out. No, he hit it good. He hit it good.
Yeah.
He hit it well. Sorry, guys. He hit it well. All right, you can see all the straight pull players are coming through. We have Sean, Alaska, Morgan. Sean, you want to say hi to your league members and everyone sweating the match?
Hi, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the match. It's a good match. Close. Let's see what happens. It's exciting.
Let's see what happens. Current score 29-24 in favor of Carlos Luna, and Carlos has a handicap. So Chris needs an opportunity at the table to catch back up here. Okay, now this is just a straight follow shot. Focus all attention on pocketing the ball. This is a little thinner than a half ball hit, so this should be a pretty good shot for Carlos. Okay, you can see how nicely that break shot was. He had a nice angle on that shot, which allowed him to get a good breakout. Now from here, his only problem ball is really the 7 and 3. So he's just got to attack the 7 and 3 as soon as possible. And the rest of the rack is pretty easy. Now, the 11 does look like at least the 7, so he could wait and use that ball to get that out. And that's something you always sort of want to look for, is balls that are causing problems or that could save you from being in trouble. So that 11 ball is a savior for the 7 ball later. It's not ideal though. You know, he could also use the 5 to get on the 7 later as well. So one of those 2 balls should get on the 7. So he really wants to clear out the 8, 14, and 4 so that 7 goes. Okay, I think he lets himself a little treetop or a little jacked up on the 7, so he'll just slow roll this in. Make sure he pockets the ball, don't rush the shot. Okay, let his cue ball go a little bit. Now since he did that, if he doesn't have the 10 ball, he should go ahead and pocket the 6. He still has a lot of break shots on the left side, so he doesn't have to die with the 6 ball. Okay, looks like the 10 goes. And Carlos needs to get rid of this 8 ball and 4 ball so that the 7 has a pocket. Then he can clear out the rack without any issues with the 7. What I might do here is play the 8, play position on the 4, and then go between the 7 and 11 and play position on the 7. If I come up short, I have shots. Now, he should not have gone into balls there. That was a very risky play and a little erratic. And no need to go into a ball there. And he got a little punished for it. Now he's got to pocket a jacked up 9 ball. The tendency on this shot is to overspin it and actually cut it outside the ball, outside the pocket to the top of the pocket as we're looking. Okay. Got a little fortunate. He alleviated the 7 ball there. Now he's probably going to stick with the 6 ball as his break shot. I like the 6 ball from here. Now, if I play the 5 and go into the 3, I would check and make sure that I don't tie things up. I would consider the 12 since I'm so close to it. I do feel like the 12 is an option. And that's sort of on how confident you're feeling, whether you shoot the 12 now or wait. But if he shot the 12, he'd have a shot on either the 3, the 5, or the 11 next, so pretty much couldn't get in trouble. But he's going to shoot the 11 first. He's okay. He's got position on the 5 or the 3. Now, after he shoots one of these 2 balls, he better get rid of that 12 ball because that's a useless ball and it's a problem later. So maybe play the 5 and then the 12 and then the 3 or the 4. Look how long his bridge is. Okay, he went forward for the 4. That's another problem ball, so I can't disagree with that too much. I hate leaving the 12 up there when he was closer to it. I would check and see if the 7 goes in the side. It is a possible shot if he doesn't like the 4. Okay, so if he's playing the 4, I suspect he's going to play position on this 12 ball. Okay, now he's a little awkward on the 12, and he would like to use the 3 to get back to these balls. If he shoots the 3, I might go ahead and get rid of the 15 next. Okay, he kind of landed in between and might have saved himself where he's forced to play this 12 ball. He's not. He wasn't playing big enough area there. He should have played for a larger zone so he wouldn't get in trouble. If he came back a little more outside, he would have had the 15 or the 12 here. Instead, he came back a little too narrow and got a little tied up on this 2. He's got the 7 ball, but he's going into the 15. Now he's got to sort of judge where the cue's going after he hits the 15. I might even hit this with a follow shot to get back out. So I might go through the 15 with follow and come back up for the 12 and the 2. Make sure you make this shot, Carlos. Okay, good shot. And he used follow, so he got back up. So he had the 2 if he didn't get position on the 15. Now what I might do here is a little more obscure. I might play for the 15, play position on the 2 with inside English. I would use top right, played the 2, and then use the 12 ball as a key ball. Now with where he is now, he's going to have to play really good position on this 2 ball. And he would like to get to the right side of the table so he can play the 2 in the lower left corner, basically where he's standing. He might have the angle to draw. I like follow. I like top right, just avoiding that side pocket, trying to hit the 3rd diamond. Okay, he was thicker than I thought and was able to draw it. That's a good shot, but he overdrew it, and he doesn't have the side, and if he plays it in the corner, he's not going to have position on the break shot. So he's going to have to use top and go 2 rails probably, or low outside. I like top and coming 2 rails, long rail, short rail, and coming back up for the 6. He looks like he's drawing it, which is a power shot, and hard to get all the way over. But boy, did he hit that well. That's a great shot, Carlos. Great shot. That should be on the highlight reel. That was a very precise cue ball there. We've got the great John Lehman. He's the tournament director here, and he will probably come in for the Efren Thorsten Homan match. Again, there's an exhibition this Wednesday, guys, the 18th at Amsterdam Billiards. I believe it's at 6 o'clock. It might be at 7, but I believe it's 6. Come on through, watch that. If you can't make it, I believe there will be a stream. Henry Chen will be doing the stream. All right, so we have Carlos Luna. Breaking, he's got a good break shot here. Just focus on pocketing the ball. Okay. Now he's actually sitting really good here. What he can do is follow up on this 14, get to the long rail, then use the 7 to go into the 15 and the 4, and he should have a shot after. He's got to get a little lucky, but this is pool. So play the 14 ball, roll up to the long rail, use the 7 ball, just make sure you miss the 9. Try to go into the 4 ball and you should have some shots. If you hit the 15, you still should be all right. You don't want to hit the 1 or there's a possible scratch in the lower right corner. So preferably he's going to try to hit the 4 or 15 after he pockets this 14 ball. I'm going to just hit the center ball, let the forward weight of the ball just move me forward. I would have tried to leave myself a little closer to the long rail. Now he's got to do a little more of a stun shot, which means he's got to feel the shot a little better. But he should be able to hit the 15 or 4. And let's watch where he hits it. And okay, he hit the 9. Very lucky if he gets any shot because he hit the 9 there. He was really trying to hit the 4. Now what he could do is draw the cue ball back a little bit off the 4 in the side and play a draw shot off the 9 and try to hit the 3 ball and get a couple balls out. That's a very aggressive play, but he wants to stay at the table and keep Chris off, so I might play a little more aggressive against a 100-ball runner. Now if the 5 goes, that changes everything. If the 5 goes, he can just follow up, play the 5-ball break shot and open everything up. Looks to me like he's trying to cut the 9 in and go into the 13. If he misses it and hits the 5, he might get lucky. If I shoot this shot, I'm using maximum right with 1 tip of top, and I'm focusing all attention on pocketing the 9. Okay, so that 7-ball position. Now, had he been a little closer to the long rail, I think he would have been easy to avoid the 9-ball. But since he was a little further to the right as far as the table position, now that that ball's a little hard to judge and you're stunning it as opposed to rolling it with spin into the stack. So I think I would have left a spin shot there instead of a stun shot to go into the stack. So in all, a decent run by Carlos, 30-ball run. So far we have a 22 and a 30-ball run. Now Chris left himself an ideal position to go right into the 10, 11, and 3. You got that little pocket there that should hold the cue, so he doesn't have to worry about the cue too much. This is a nice smooth follow shot. He's got to get a little lucky. He doesn't have much insurance here, but he's going into the stack in the right direction. Things should blossom nicely for him. Okay, you got a little unfortunate that the 10 and 11 is still tied up and the 15 and 9 is still tied up. And he doesn't have any natural break shot from where it stands, so that's a little rough. I think he's going to have to develop a break shot, maybe use the 11 to push out the 10 ball. And he still has a big problem with the 3, 9, and 15. Do a quick thank you to Greg Hunt for all he does for pool. He's been the promoter of the Straight Pool League and 8-ball, 9-ball leagues here. John Lehman is the one that runs most of those leagues, and then Sean Alaska Morgan also runs the Straight Pool League and the 8-ball league. Chris did a wise decision here, use the 8 to play position to go into this 9, 3, and 15. That'll solve one of his problems. Okay. It was wisely played, a good use of the 8-ball to attack a problem ball. Now ideally he could use the 9 to get underneath the 11 and push the 10 out for a break shot. That would be the ideal scenario. He would like to keep the 15 ball so that when he does use the 11 to go into the 10, he has an easy shot after. So he might sacrifice the 12 or another ball so that he can use that 15 ball as an insurance ball once he does develop a break shot. I like that Chris is thinking, how am I going to preserve my position after I develop the 10? Because that's really what he's trying to do, is develop the 10 ball as his break shot. I like his thought process. I would use the 12. I kind of agree with him on going ahead, sacrificing a good key ball, and playing position on this 11 ball carom to knock the 10 out. I could try to gently go into this 11-10. And he did try to gently go into it and develop the 10. That was the other play. The problem is that he had to hit the 15 ball harder to pocket the ball, and that would have eliminated his break shot position. So instead he created a break shot for Carlos. And Carlos is probably ecstatic to be at the table so shortly. He's a little awkward though, to be honest, at the table. This is a little funny. I played the 9-15, try to play position on the 9, but I would leave the 12 as a possibility just in case the 9 gets a little squirrely. I was able to see the 15 straight ahead, much better play. Now I can get rid of the 11, and I would keep the 9 to the 12 as my last 2 balls. It's a nice little triangle. So 15, 5, 3, 5, 3, 9, 5, 3, 9, 12. He's got to play the 5 stop shot, 3 stop shot, 3 draw back a little bit, 9 draw back a little bit, and you got the 12 as your key ball. 5, 3, 9, 12. Come on, Carlos. This is the play. Okay, I think he sees it. Good. This is so natural. He's just going to draw back. He wants a nice stick angle on the 9 and just make sure he's not frozen to the rail so he can manipulate the cue ball to the 12. If he has it, he can follow it or draw it. I think he's got the angle where he can follow it. He'll follow 1 rail back. Just make sure he doesn't bring the scratch into play. Now, if he pulls back a little higher of the spot, maybe about a diamond higher than the spot, you should be perfect on the 12. You can see this nice triangle. Okay, guys. So he made the break or the key ball, and he's in good position for the break shot. I'm not sure if you guys can see the stream at home or not, but we're changing batteries on, I believe, the camera, and that should get us some action here, so we can see what's going on.
Good.
Not sure if you guys can see the stream at home. But if we lost the stream, I don't know.
Is it good? Yeah.
We're not good. Oh, I got nothing. Henry, can you go advise him that we have no screen and that it's not live? We are not live.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be stopping us from playing.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's back up.
All right, guys, we had a little technical issue, but I think we're back up. Carlos is doing the break shot. Hopefully he makes this so we don't feel badly, because he stopped for us. Okay. I got a little nervous, but he avoided the scratch. He has shape on the 9 in the lower right corner. And Should be able to play position for the 14 and go into the stack if he wants. Or he could just follow and hit the 14, make sure he has a shot in the 14 or the 2. I like that. Okay, he was able to avoid it. Now he can go right into the 5 if he wants, open him up. He'll have shape on the 12. Okay, he left the backside angle. This is just as good. Okay, now he's sitting really well. If he can get rid of that 12 ball, I would get rid of that right away. If not, maybe the 8 to the 12 is also valuable. Looks like the 15 to the 3 is a potential key ball break shot. I'm not sure if I like the 4 because there aren't any super good key balls. Maybe the 7 to the 11 you could use as the pattern to the end. Yeah, both sides have good key balls. Okay, looks like he's going to go with the 12 first. I think that's the 12. That's either the 12 or the 13. Now, if he's uncomfortable, I might just shoot the 8. The 8's just as useless. So go ahead and get rid of it. Okay, now he played position for the middle of the table. Now, what he wants to do is make sure that he saves whichever ball he's going to use for a key ball. Like say he's using the 11 to the 4. I wouldn't get rid of the 7 because see how nicely it leads to the 11? And then a stop shot on 11 would have been perfect position on the 4. So he has to consider what he's going to use for his break shot and save balls that are of value and eliminate balls that are useless or in the way. Okay, if he gets rid of this 15, this is okay if he gets rid of the 15, but he's going to want to use something that's going to make him not move too far to the 4. He could also use the 6 to the 3. That's another valuable key ball break shot. Now that was a really good play there because what he did was he developed a good key ball to the 4 ball if he wants to use it. And he could use that to also get on the 11. Now what I might do here is go 5, 3, 6, 11, or 11, 6. Now he just took away that ball, that nice ball that he developed. So he's going to have to work for his key ball position. All right, pretty good cue ball there. Now if he can go one rail and get thick on the 5, he can pull back up for the break shot. But you see how nicely the 11 would be for a key ball? Now what he did is he didn't really decide what he was going to use to get to the break shot, or his decision on what he was going to use for the break shot just caused a lot of challenges, right? He had so many balls up there that he could have used. As soon as he opened up the stack, he really should have decided what he was going to use to get to the break shot. I'm not saying he didn't because maybe he just got out of line, but happens to the best of us. But he's still at the table, so he's just got to work his way back. Okay, that was a good line on the 5. Now he came a little too far, so he's going to have to do a nip draw shot or go to the rail and back out. Based on his last position shot, I think he's going to go to the long rail and back out. So this will be a stun draw with outside English. Okay, and because he left himself a little awkward, tried to force the cue ball back and forth, he missed the shot. A little rough. Again, a little bit of a different decision on the strategy there, and he probably would have been happy. Okay guys, so if you're just tuning in, this is Michael Yednak. I'm here with Henry Chan and Pascal Dufresne. We're using the 14-1 engine, which is giving you guys all the stats. Sean Morgan is the league director. He does an amazing job. And we're going to have Thorsten Holman and Efren Reyes in the house on Wednesday, and that'll be streamed as well. I think it's a $5 pay-per-view, or you can come in and watch for $20. But I hope you guys come and check that stuff out. Should be awesome. See our amazing house pro, Thorsten Holman, competing against arguably the greatest pool player to ever live, Efren Reyes. So come watch that, guys. And if you guys are interested, we have several pros here that give lessons. We have Thorsten Holman, we have Nika Immonen, we have Hunter Lombardo, we have myself, Michael Yednak, and Sean Morgan. All of us are willing to help and improve your game. It'd be nice to see you guys in the room. Okay, so Chris has an awkward break shot. Came with a really good shot. And I think the 12 goes by the 1. If the 12 goes by the 1, he's got some life. If the 12 doesn't, he might have to play an awkward combination shot. Guys, I will do a quick thanks to Laura Rodriguez for the constant support. James Lake just started working with me with the alchemy method. We're going to get in a session tomorrow and start to work on the mental game. Oh, he's got a shot in the 1. This is sweet. That's ideal. Now what I'll probably do here is use the 12, go into the 10, then he's going to hit the 15 and try to open up some balls with that. I would use a top cue ball on this and really follow through, like get a lot of energy on the cue, make sure I get to the long rail and back out to the center of the table, give myself the highest probability to get a shot, because he doesn't have any guaranteed shots here, so I would sort of force it here. Nice smooth long follow through, muscle through the stack, and he tried to muscle through and he's going to get rewarded. Cue ball got too much air, jumped over the stack, but he needed to put a good stroke on that to make sure he got a shot. So even though that's a little lucky, wise decision on his choice to go ahead and slaughter that ball, make sure that he got out of there. Also do a quick shout out to Elvis Rodriguez with his In the Box apparel. He's been providing a lot of gear for a lot of the players, and we all appreciate him, and it's real high quality stuff, guys. If you're interested in getting any of the apparel, jerseys, etc., please contact Elvis Rodriguez on In the Box clothing apparel. Also, I'll do a quick shout out to Jacoby Custom Cues. They make fine equipment. They've been taking care of me for years. Truly appreciate their work and their quality of cuemanship. Okay, from where he's sitting, it looks like he's either got a shot in the 8 or a shot on the 15. Unfortunately, neither ball really leads to a lot of options. The 15 ball, if he cuts in the corner, the lower left corner, it's probably going to have a shot. So that's when he's choosing. I would choose this over the 8 pretty much anyway, anytime. But he should have a shot here. Just focus on pocketing the ball. Okay, so Chris Neumeyer, in rare form, missing a couple shots you wouldn't expect. Left Carlos a nice shot in the 10 ball. Looks like Carlos only needs 34 balls to close this out. So that's a rack and 2 racks and a little more. He's sitting in a really good position here. He can pocket the 10. And he should have shape on the 7 if he jacks up a little bit. Or if he follows, he could follow right into the 8 and probably have shape on the 15. I would go ahead and just do whatever I felt more comfortable with. I think he can pull this back a little bit. He's a little further off the short rail than it looks. Use a little stun draw and get position on the 7. Use the 7 to go into the stack near the 15 as insurance. That's what I would do. Okay, he went into the stack there. That was a little risky. He could have easily gone out the stack and scratched. He didn't get punished, so he's got a good opportunity here to clean some balls. I would get rid of the 15 first and then use the 11. Get rid of the 15, it blocks the pocket, it's kind of useless. Then use the 11 to get back to the middle of the table and give yourself some options. Yeah, even if he has to use the bridge, it's the right shot. A good shot. Now what he could do is go into the 3 here and knock the 7 out. Now, it's a little risky, but I think he'll have shape on the 5 or other balls if he were to do that. Or, what I like more is to just stay a little more conservative, play position on balls, and work your way around the rack, and don't hit any more balls. Use the 7 ball as my break shot. Now from here, he can use the 8, play position on the 2 or the 6, get rid of the 3, the 14, and the 13, and then use some ball for a key ball to the break shot. But I like getting rid of the 8, maybe the 13, then the 6, then the 2, 3, 14, and 5, you know, in some sort of configuration. Play for the 13 here. The 13 is kind of a bad ball anyway. Okay, I think he got in the 13 and he should attack it. 13 ball's a horrible ball. He could use the 2, but I like getting rid of this 13. It's a useless ball. I would have played for a 13 in the lower right corner instead. I think he hit the 8 a little too hard. He must not feel comfortable with the 13, so he's opting to go ahead and shoot the 2. Go ahead and hit the 5. Maybe you develop into a key ball. That was a good shot. Now with the 5 in a better key ball position, that helps the whole rack out. Now you can use the 5 to get on the 7, and everything's a little easier. Now don't get cute here. Just play the 3, play position on the 13 and the 6, and keep your run going. It's just a little stun shot. Try to play position on the 13 or the 6. You'll have the 14 as well. But attack this 13 ball. The 13 ball is going to be your problem if you leave it too long. I don't know about other 100 ball runners, but that 13 ball is my primary focus right now. That's all I'm focused on, is getting rid of that 13, because that gives me a break shot on the 7. Or he could get rid of the 14 and the 3, and then get rid of the 7, use the 13 as a break shot. I like the 7 ball a little more as my break shot, but maybe some players like the 13. Okay, I think that was a little haphazard, a little risky. He didn't get punished for it, so the rolls do seem to be going Carlos's way right now. But he is playing good pocketing as well, and pretty good speed. Okay guys, I don't know if you can hear me. Carlos is continuing his run. I think Carlos is pausing for a sec to let Henry try to get his stream going. He's on a nice run, but he just needs, he can go. I'm gonna go talk to the guys. If you guys are still hearing me.
I'm gonna put it on top and
Carlos is still at the table. He's paused for a second to let us get it going. I'll let you guys know if the stream comes up. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. Stream is up.
It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we're back in action, guys. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, we're back up. Carlos waited for us patiently. And he's in good line here. And he got on the 13 nicely. Came a little past, but he can hold the cue. Probably played for the 3 and the 13 in the same pocket. Just use a little draw stroke. I can see the angle he has. It's not that severe. He can draw it back and play the 3 in the corner. Don't try to hold the 3 for the side. Pull up, play the 3 in the lower right corner, same pocket as the 13. Okay, that was a good play. Now he can go to the long rail and back out and attain position to the middle of the table. He doesn't want to come too far to the left because the 7's higher up on the rack. He wants to be a little closer to the center of the table. So he'll try to get right in the center of the table, splitting the 2 side pockets. Okay, beautiful shot, and he executed that very well. He's right in the center of the table. And on this shot, I probably use a pure draw stroke, and I slaughter this ball. This is a draw stroke. I pull it all the way back to the short rail and come back up. Focus all attention on pocketing the ball with a nice, good draw stroke, and Carlos is off to the races. So a little under 2 racks required for Carlos to close the door. Okay, nice, good, low draw stroke, low outside. Stay down the ball. Don't move your bridge hand. Perfect, perfectly executed. He's got shape on the 4 or the 11. He's got the 1 as a potential break shot. Not that he needs to concern himself with that right away, but he's got it for later. I would go ahead and play the 4, play position on the 8, and use the 8 to go into the 9, have the 15 balls insurance. Don't get too risky here and play the 11. Play the 4, play position on the 8, use the 8 to go into the balls underneath. You got the 15 balls insurance. Now, I do like that he played position on the 8 there, and he kept the 15 and the 4 as potential insurance balls, but he's using the 15 now, so he's going to play position on the 12, use the 12 to go into it. I don't know, I think I would have played the 8 there and used the 12 to go into it. Because the 12 goes into the 9, should open up all the balls. I would have left the 15 myself. Use the 8 to get on the 12, and then use the 15. Let's hope he gets a shot here. He is going into the 9. Good. Now he went at it gently to make sure he had a shot in the 4. I would go ahead and eliminate the 13 here. Maybe he's right to take. Maybe he's right to take the 4 ball. And play position to the 8. Okay, if he uses low outside, he can go into the 9 again and open him some more, and he still has the 4 as insurance. Okay, that was a little bit of a bad roll. Well, he hit the 10 instead of the 9. He's got a pretty easy combo. He may have the 9 straight ahead, but he's going to have to play a little bit of a tougher shot. He may have the 10 up table. If he has the 10 up table, that's definitely the play. If he doesn't, he'll play the 9-4 combination. Don't worry about the cue ball. Don't worry about developing the 2. Just focus all attention on pocketing the ball. Okay. Looks to me like he's cutting the 10 in. Now this shot, you have to worry about how much you throw the shot. So he doesn't want to put too much English on this. Probably just wants to use a half tip. And you can either spin it in or cut it in. Okay, center of the pocket. Good shot by Carlos. He's got the 3 ball now. I wouldn't play this, if he didn't like it before, don't play it now. Go ahead and play the 3 ball, play position on the 13, get rid of that ball. If he can play position on 13. If he can't, he doesn't have to worry about it. He does want to get rid of this 4-ball pretty soon, so he can use the 9 and develop the 14 or the 2. Oh, okay, that was a big shot. That was a big shot there, but it was the right shot. He played the right shot there. He had position on the 4. He could have played the 4 next, and then maybe the 14 developed the 9 into the 2, pushed the 2 out. Then he had the 5-ball as insurance. All right, so Carlos is at 82. Chris is at 33. Chris just took his break. All right, guys. So we have some good playing still ahead. Carlos is a little over a rack he needs, and Chris needs a good run here. Needs about 5 racks. So Chris took a brief break. I'm going to do a quick time to thank my sponsors. Thank you, Amsterdam Billiards, for supporting the pool players in the room and the walk-in crowd. We really appreciate you guys. Special thanks to Jacoby Custom Cues, In the Box Clothing Apparel. I'll thank Laura Rodriguez. I'll thank Jacoby Custom Cues if I didn't already. Talm Billiard Products. Everyone else who supports me, guys, thank you so much. Chris should be back shortly. He just went to go take a break. Probably, you know, if I'm in this situation, I'm Chris. I'm going to go wash my face, wash my hands, look in the mirror, remember who I am, come back and put 100 down, you know? That's what he's got to do. So he's collecting himself, doing the right thing, coming back sharp, ready to fire. And let's see how far he can dig here. He's got to dig deep and come back with some with a run. You just got to play smart and not miss any balls, you know? If he can control the table, he can still win this match. Doesn't have to put 100 down, doesn't have to put 70 down. He needs to leave the table on a safety and not on a miss. So my guess he's going to attack the 3 and the 13 right away. He may shoot the 4 if he doesn't like the 3 now. If I shoot the 4, I'm going to draw back for the 14 or the 5. Okay, he's a little on the top side of the 14. He doesn't have to create a break shot here. He's got the 1 as a potential break shot. So he doesn't have to develop the 2 as a break shot. I always try to, just to have extra break shots, but it's not necessary. And it's probably one of the weaknesses of my game, always trying to create too much when I already have a good position. So let's see if he holds the 1 or if he builds the 2. Now he is left-handed, so the 2 would be a better break shot than the 1. Yeah, with how the balls are laying now, he's, I think, just going to go ahead and use the 1 ball as his break shot. Okay, got slightly awkward on this 2. And he might have to shoot the 5 or the 3 here. Right now the 5 is a little scary because he hasn't been shooting so well. If he was in dead stroke, the 5 would look like a hanger. But when you haven't been playing well, and you're playing for the finals, and you're playing against a guy like Carlos who's in the lead and very capable of closing it in 1 inning, this is a little more scary, but he's supposed to make this. All right, he hit the rim, but he got good shape. Now he can pocket the 3, get off the rail for the 13. Now on this shot, sometimes I like to use inside English, which would be right English, and that puts left English on the 3, which helps the 3 in the pocket. Not that it's a concern, but it just gives it a little extra spin in my favor. Now that's of course only if it allows natural position for the 13 ball or the 2. You could also just play it flat with no English. How by the way things are lining up, I might have liked to have played position on the 6 had he had a little more freedom on the 3 ball, and then used the 13 to the 2. The 2 is a good key ball to the 1. But now he's going to have to do something a little more creative for position, so he's going to have to be a really good pool player and play position off an unfavorable key ball, which will be the 6 ball likely. Now what I do here is I come off the rail and try to get the left side of the 6 ball, so I'm veering towards the right side of the table, so I just have a stun shot for position on the 1 break shot. So I draw to the long rail and out, and try to get the left side on the 6 so that I'm cutting the ball to the left and the cue ball is naturally going to the right side of the table. Okay, he chose to play position for the 6 in the side. Maybe he had a little different angle than I thought on the shot, but again, he's a little out of line, so he's got to work for position here. I'm not sure if he can hit it thick enough and get to the diamond and a half area with massive right and get back to this side of the table. Yeah, he was 1 diamond out, which didn't give him the line to get to the right side of the table. So now he's got too thick of a hit on the 1. So remember what I said, he can't end his inning on a miss. He needs to hit a quality safety if he's not running balls. So I suspect he's going to pocket this ball, play a stop shot position, try to find a nice wired line, and I would check the rack on this before shooting the shot, make sure I had a good rack, especially certain balls, so that I can play a combination shot and get a ball to the rail and freeze him on the stack. Now, since he's attacking the stack from the front of the rack and not underneath the rack, he can go ahead and leave the cue on the stack and still be in a favorable position from a safety standpoint. But if I were him, I would check the 3, 7, 14 and the 2 and the 15 and make sure those balls are all tied together, because he's going to have to probably play a safety after this. Yeah, I don't know if that was the play there. That was an aggressive play. He's trying to put a number down, so I get it. But I might come off the 6 and try to get underneath the stack. I don't know if you guys heard, but Jonathan Smith was in the background and Thorsten Homan discussing the match, talking about Carlos's quality play to put him in the position he's in now. I have greatness behind me. Well, Chris, I mean, not for nothing. He's just got to come with a good safety here. You can thin the 15, put him back on the stack. You could play the 6, come 2 rails underneath the stack. This is a lot easier. I would not leave him on the stack. I would leave him away from the stack so Carlos doesn't have an easy safety in return. And he might have left Carlos the side pocket. And if so, Carlos should shoot at it. He only needs, looks like 18 balls. So Carlos going to shoot at this. Play position on the 12 probably. I'm pretty sure this ball goes. If not, he's got an easy safety. But again, I wouldn't leave him by the stack if he plays the safety. And Carlos is one of those guys that when he's playing, he plays quite well. Carlos has a wonderful, I think, wife or girlfriend, and he spends most of his time with her instead of playing pool like he used to do in the day. But Carlos is a fine player and can definitely run some balls. Okay, looks like he's got the 13 on the side. All attention on pocketing the ball. Okay, good shot. Now he left himself frozen on the rail, but couldn't really do much about it. He had to focus his attention on pocketing the ball. Pocket one more ball, get yourself out of the woods, and then use the 6 ball maybe as a break shot. Hopefully. Just try to land yourself on the other rail. I would check and see if the 5-9 is a valuable option before shooting, just so I know my next shot. Sometimes it helps you pocket when you know you have a ball after. Okay, let's see if he... Okay, good stroke by Carlos. He was able to get a little bit in the stack. I didn't see that coming, but now he'll be able to use the 6-ball and really open him up. It's got the perfect angle, as Thorsten said. And, yep. Lots of fun here. Just stay down, make sure you pocket the ball. Okay, he used a draw stroke. I might have followed on that, but it ended up great, so I can't argue it. He's going to play the 8-ball, pull off a little bit for the 15. Probably play position on the 9 off the 15. Okay, came a little short, but he's still all right. I'll be very deliberate about my position on the 9. Make sure I don't get out of line. Make sure I have a shot. He's hitting really well, so just don't make any unforced errors. If he doesn't like position on the 9, he could come all the way down table and play position for the 14 or 11, but I think he can play position on the 9 easier. Okay, I think he's got the 2 and the 9. He's tapping the table, so maybe the 2 doesn't go, but if he's got this 9-ball, that's ideal. Okay, pretty good shot here. The camera is a little low. I would put it up higher next time for the next stream, but if Dell were to walk by, you might get a concussion. I miss Dell on commentary. I wish he was with us here. He makes it a little more entertaining for us. Okay, he went aggressive at the stack. A little risky. I think he has a shot on the 3. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if that was the right play there. I think he could have played position on the 11, then played position on the 4, slowly weaved his way around rather than going into balls. Going into balls, you can just get in trouble, so I try to stay away from that if I can. It looks like Carlos doesn't have a shot in either of those 2 balls, so he's got to go for a tough shot in this 2. This could determine the match, so he's got to really focus here, make sure he stays down. Pocket the ball. Okay, sweet shot. Let's see if he gains position. Okay, if the 3 didn't go before, it doesn't go now. So he's probably going to have to play a shot in the 11 ball. I mean, he doesn't really have much choice. If the 11 goes, he's pretty much got to shoot at it. He should hit the 4, and he's losing the cue ball entirely here, so he's got to get a good roll to continue. Okay, he's losing the cue ball. He's got to get a good roll. He doesn't want a tough shot. He's already came with 2. And it looks like he's got another tough shot. And this is where, you know, very easy to fail. He needs 10 balls, a lot of pressure. He's got to come with a tough shot on the 10. Good thing is, if he makes this last tough shot on the 10 ball, he should be out of the woods. So just stay down, focus. Try to put a nice smooth stroke together. And he's out of the woods. All right, so he can make the 4 ball, and he should be able to get up on the 3. This is pretty natural. I think he just uses a follow with a little bit outside. He comes 2 rails, should have shape on the 3. Then I'll have to move the cue ball all the way back up table off the 7 to get to the 5, but I don't see much choice here. He's just got to pocket the 4 and play position on the 3. Don't get cute. Just kind of accept the table as it is. Stay down. Keep doing what you've been doing. Okay, he didn't use any outside English, so he's awkward on the 3. He needed to still play position there. He was in good enough position where he could play position. He's making it hard on himself. This is the big scratch if he tries to play it in either pocket, looks like. So he's got to be careful which way he goes with this. I mean, he's got to pocket this with inside English from what I see. Or a dead center ball in the right pocket. Yeah, good shot. Good shot. Good shot. Now, if he pockets the 7 and hits the 5, which he has to do unless he jacks up, he's not going to run out. What he could do is jack up a little bit, play for the 5 in the side pocket position, and that's a viable break shot. But if it's going to lower his percentage on pocketing the 7, I wouldn't go for it because he's got the match sort of tied up. I wouldn't take any risk here, but if he feels like he can pocket it and pull the cue to the left and play the 5 break shot in the side, that's a viable option, you know? Just stun it over. Focus all attention on pocketing the 7. Okay, I would not have played back to the center, but what a great shot. Jesus. I would have slow rolled that, played the 5 in the side as my break shot, and called it a day. Carlos just came with some shot. Wow. What an impressive shot. Oh, I just got to watch on my replay.
The number in bracket is the innings, so 7 innings each.
Okay, so looks like Carlos is on the verge of closing out the finals here. I would hit this with a medium soft stroke, wouldn't lose the cue ball, just knock out my 6 balls and take my time. Thorsten would boom it.
Set him offensive in the break shot.
He does have the perfect break shot. Okay, so he boomed it like Thorsten would. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got all 6 out. So he does not need to go back into the stack. Just play the 1. I think he's got angle to play position on the 14. Play the 1, play position on the 14. You'll have the 2 or the 14 next, or the 8. Got tons of options. What a great showing from Carlos. Now, if he's too straight, he might have to punch it. Just don't draw this ball. Stay down the shot. Nice smooth stroke like you've been. Yeah, he had to punch it up. That was a great shot. Now he's got the 14, the 2, or the 8. I still play the 14 because I'm nice and close to it. Play position on the 7 or the 2, depending on how thin I am on this 14. Okay, he's stretching a little. Now, whenever you're stretching, guys, one thing that I try to tell all my students is to take extra time because you're uncomfortable. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. You're going to be in that position. Take your time, set up. Now this 8 ball is missable to the outside of the pocket. A lot of times when I shoot this shot, if I'm not careful, I'll spin it right out of the pocket. So I'll spin it wide. So I try to hit this actually a little chubbier than I would normally hit. And that sort of prevents me from overcutting it. He's been shooting great, so I don't think he's going to miss it. Good shot. Notice he hit a little chubby. That was a nice play. Now he can play the 2, play position on the 13. If he's got the wrong angle, he can hit the 13, and he'll have the 12 or the 13 or the 7. The guy's Carlos. What a great showing. Looks like he's almost out. Okay, he's got the 7. And I play position for the 12, the 13, and the 14 here. But he only needs 2. Could also play the 12 and the 14 if he doesn't like the stretch. I kind of like that. If I'm Carlos. I play the 12 and the 14. He only needs 2 balls.
Does he know?
Yeah, I know.
Guys, if you're just tuning in, Amsterdam Billiards is having Thorsten Holman and Efren Reyes here Wednesday, the 18th. I believe they'll be streaming for $5. Or you guys can come here and watch it live at the door for 20 bucks. A big congratulations to Carlos Luna. Awesome performance. Chris didn't get to showcase his quality play, but Chris is a fine shooter as well. I'm sure we'll see him in the finals soon enough. So thanks for watching, guys. Big shout out to Amsterdam Billiards for providing the stream. Henry Chan, Pascal Dufresne for the 14-1 engine. And guys, great showing by both players. Good to see a new reigning champion, Carlos Luna, over Chris Neumeyer. And maybe we'll get some more straight pull players into the scene to fight Carlos.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Carlos, thank you for your patience with the stream. We had a couple issues, but you were strong. Got anything you want to say to wifey or anyone watching?
I love you, Susie, for letting me out in 3 leagues.
You still need like 3 more. You can see it. You need like 3 more.
No, I just need 6.
Susie,
You can see it.
Susie, you're awesome. Thanks for letting Carlos play. We love having Carlos in the room, so we all appreciate you as well. Anyway, guys, thanks, Laura Rodriguez. You're my girl. Appreciate you. Love you. Guys, we'll see you Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
It's out? Put it out.
Audio.